Okay, so for example, let's write down an equation that's in standard form. In slope-intercept form. Okay? This is in slope-intercept form, and I want us to move it to standard form. So what we need to do, remember standard form has ax plus by, and it equals c. So the y is already on the left-hand side. I need to move the 2x. So what I would go and do is I would subtract 2x from each side, and I would get negative 2x plus y equals 3. There it is. There's my standard form. Here's the deal. I've got a number of people that are just shutting down because they don't want to try. They think that it's going to be confusing. You have to try and focus. It's not that confusing. All you're doing is moving the x back over to the left-hand side. So let's try another one. Y equals 4x minus 3. So let's go and move it into standard form. I'm going to draw my line. Well, I need to move this 4x over here to the left. And it's a positive 4x, so I need to go and subtract 4x from each side. Now, I have negative 4x plus y equals negative 3. There it is, and this is in standard form. Okay? You could write y plus negative 4 or y minus 4x equals negative 3. I mean, the standard form, though, always has the x first. So let's try another one. No, I won't do that one yet. Hold on, we'll do that one in a minute. There's the next one. Now this is in slope-intercept form, so you should have this written down, and we should be trying to move it into standard form. First thing you want to make sure you do is move it to the correct side. So right here I see negative 2x. The opposite of negative 2x, I will add x to each side. I come up with 2x plus y equals 4. Okay, so there's our equation, but we don't have a y equals out there in front. We just have 2x plus y equals 4. Okay? All right, well, then there'll be another step. There might be. If I want to have, like, let's start with this. I've got y equals 1/2 x minus 6. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to want to move this into standard form, but we're going to want to have all integers. What does integers mean?
Positive.
Integers can be positive and negative, but they're also going to be, they can't be fractions. They have to be whole numbers. Okay, so when things ask us for integers, they have to be whole numbers. Okay, they can be positive and negative, but they have to be whole numbers. Yeah, the lights just blinked. Okay, so right here, now all of you aren't imagining things. All right, so to move this to the other side, I'm going to subtract 1/2 x from each side. And now I have negative 1/2 x plus y equals negative 6. Okay, so that's fine, but I want to go through and I want to have all integers. Okay? And then I want to have all integers. So now, listen, here's what we have to do. What is the number in the denominator right now? It's 2. So I'm going to take this entire equation and multiply it by 2. And I'm doing this so that I can get rid of my fractions. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 The denominator is 2. Whatever the denominator is, that's what you're going to multiply by. The whole equation. Because you can't, to change the equation, if you only multiplied it by one of the terms, you're only changing part of the equation. You're messing it all up. You have to change everything. And because what you do to one thing, you have to do to every single one. That's fine. 2y will be fine because standard form, you don't have to have y by itself. It's only when we're in slope-intercept form. Okay, so when I take 2 times negative 1/2, I get negative 1x. Then I take 2 times y plus 2y. I take 2 times negative 6, and that gives me negative 12. I could write it as negative x plus 2y equals negative 12. It does not matter that my y has a 2 in front of it. This is my equation in standard form. If some of you don't realize, this is being videoed, and the fact that I have to stop really irritates me. Okay? Now, let's try another one. Let's go through y equals 3/4 x minus 1. Okay, there's my next equation. First, I want to move it to standard form. Okay, so you should have this written down. What's the first thing I need to do?
Negative 3/4.
Yes, I need to subtract that x and move it to the other side. I want to subtract 3/4 x from each side. These cancel out, so I'm going to have negative 3/4 x plus y equals negative 1. Now, why are you saying that I need to multiply 4 by the entire equation? I want a whole number, and you choose whatever number is in the denominator. It is 4, so now I'm going to multiply everything by 4. When I take 4 times negative 3/4, that just makes the 4's cancel out. And I get negative 3x, 4 times y, plus 4y, 4 times negative 1, and that's negative 4. There's my equation in standard form. Okay, now let's look at our worksheet. Oh, I got negative 3 because when you take 4 times this fraction, it gives you negative 3 because the 4's cancel out. It works for every fraction when you multiply by the exact number in the denominator. Because you can do it like that. If you take it 4/1, you can do that as well. You can also go in your calculator and put in there 4 parentheses, negative 3 divide 4, and press enter, and it will multiply it for you. Okay? So let's look at why I'm doing it. This is going to save me time instead of, now listen, I want y'all to understand, you can always solve for y. You can go through each one of these individually, solve for y, and find the one that gives you the equation for this line. You can do that. This is just another way in order to find your answer. So what I'm going to do here, first let's find the equation of this line. I know on your paper, put a dot right here. This is my y-intercept. It is 0, 3. Okay, so my y-intercept is 0, 3. Now the other thing I need is my slope. You should be following along on your paper right now. Now if I go up 1 to the right 1, that's not on the line. But if I go up 2 to the right 1, ding, 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 sure is. Up 2/1, that's my slope. 2/1 is 2. So if I write my equation, it's in slope-intercept form, I get y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, but, let me move this up here. Are any of these written in slope-intercept form? No. But I can go through, what if I change this around and get it into standard form? So let me bring this up here. What would I need to do in order to get it in standard form? What do I need to move? I don't need to move the y. The y needs to stay over here. I need to move that 2x. So how do I move the 2x to the other side? I subtract 2x from each side. So now I have negative 2x plus y, and it equals 3. There's my equation in standard form. Are any of these written that way? Sure enough, there's my answer. I see it. Now, I think your worksheets are labeled with the wrong letters. I think it says like CD, CD or something. Okay, look and see. It should be the one on the left that says negative 2x plus y equals 3. Okay? Let's go to the next one and try and figure out the next one. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to find the equation of this line. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put a dot right here, and I'm going to find my slope and my y-intercept. My y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, negative 4. Okay? Now to find my slope, is my slope going to be positive or negative? Why would it be negative? The line is going down. So now if I go down 1 and over 1, it's not quite on the line. What about down 2 and over 1, 2? Nope, 3 is over too far. Well, I don't know. Okay, I think this is the one that my line looks off. I think it is supposed to be negative 2 over 3. It's negative 2. Oh, yeah, it is. Negative 2 over 3. Negative 2 over 3. So now if we write the equation of this line, I get y equals negative 2/3 x minus 4. Okay, that's my equation in slope-intercept form. So, oops. I'm going to bring this up here. Now let's bring my equation. Now let's go through and let's solve this to move it into standard form. So first thing I'm going to move is my x's, because I need my x and my y on the same side. So it says minus 2/3 x. I'm going to add 2/3 x to each side. Now I get, I'm going to erase that red line though because I don't have enough room. Okay, I have 2/3 x plus y equals negative 4 because these cross out. Okay, so all I did was move it to the other side. Problem is, look at all these right here. Do any of these in standard form, do these have a fraction in front of the x? There isn't. That's why on those last ones I was having you guys multiply by the denominator so we can get the whole numbers. What should I multiply this entire equation by? By 3. So if I take 3 times 2/3 x, I should get 2x, 3 times y, plus 3y, 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. All right, now what about this one? Do we see this equation anywhere in our answers? 2x, that says 2x minus 3y. Nope. That says negative 2x. Here it is, this D right here. There's my answer. Okay, let's try and do number 3. Now, the problem with number 3 is, does it go through and give you the y-intercept right away? No, it doesn't. You have to continue the line. Okay, so let's look at that first and figure out what is the slope of this line. It looks like I'm starting at this point, and what's another one that works? Right here? Let's see, maybe not. Nope, let's see. Over, down, no, not down 2 over 1. You have to go down before you do anything else.
4 down 3. Is it over 4 down?
Let's go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 2, 3. Or what about down 3, over, okay, yeah, that'll work. So from here, I'll go down 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see if that works again to get my y-intercept. Down, 1, 2, 3. To the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, there we go. So I've got negative 3 over 4. So my slope is negative 3/4. My y-intercept should be 0, 2. So let's write the equation of this line now. So I'm going to go through and write y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2. Now, to find my answer, though, I've got to be able to come up here and find it in standard form. So let me bring this equation up. First thing you need to do is to move your x to the left-hand side. So I need to add 3/4 x to each side. I'm going to get, oh, I need to move that line again. I've got 3/4 x plus y equals 2. Okay, none of these have fractions, so I need to multiply my equation by something. I should multiply 4. Why 4? Because that's in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply here, and that crosses out the 4. So I'm going to get 3x. 4 times y is 4y. 4 times 2 equals 8. Do I have any of those anywhere? It should be this one right here. Not C. This D right here. Why isn't it the C? Yeah, that C says negative 8. Okay. Okay, let's try another one and try and just figure it out. So I would flip your paper over or write it on your boards. Here is my equation in standard form. Please write it, I'm sorry, in slope-intercept form. Please write it in standard form. And I want it with integers. So the first thing you're going to go and do, add 1/3 x. Oops. I've got 1/3 x plus y equals 6. What do I multiply my equation by? By 3. So I have to, and this is be the mistake, make sure you multiply every piece by 3. So I'm going to have 1x plus 3y equals 18. Here it is in standard form.